Hello and welcome to the ARC Beacon, a regular video advocacy report for California's disability community. I'm Jordan Lindsay, Executive Director of the ARC of California, and today also representing the ARC and United Cerebral Palsy California collaboration because we're going to be talking about legislation today. Through these reports, we will be bringing you timely updates on the policies, legislation, and decisions that impact children and adults with developmental disabilities, their families, and the workforce that supports them, with Congress recently passing legislation that will have major impacts, with the state of California discussing and voting on legislation that will have impacts to our community. It's more important than ever that we stay informed, connected, and ready to act. So today, we're going to be quickly going through some of the priority bills that the ARC and United Cerebral Palsy California collaboration are watching and supporting. The legislature, state legislature, reconvenes from summer recess on Monday, meaning that now starting Monday, it's going to be a mad dash of a few weeks to wrap up the legislative session, get through the bills through all the committees, and see if they can get through all the way to the governor's desk where he will either sign or veto the bills. So we're just going to highlight a few of the bills that all of these bills we're in high support of. There are also many, many other bills we are tracking, and all of those you can see on our website at the link that will be provided. First, AB 951 by Assemblymember Ta. We highlighted this bill last week in our Monday memo because this bill actually has already gotten through the process and signed by the governor into law. Very excited about it. This is the healthcare coverage behavioral diagnoses. So current law mandates that health plans provide behavioral health treatments for conditions like autism or pervasive developmental disorder. Many of you may be receiving behavioral health treatments, or your family member may be receiving those. What's really terrible and annoying is that often the health plans would require you to be re-diagnosed every 6 months or every year to be reassessed. Are you still eligible to receive behavioral health treatments? Well, this is pervasive developmental disorder, or this person has autism. It's not like it just disappears after 6 months. So this bill says, hey, that's silly. Don't make families do this every 6 months or a year. Instead, this was just signed into law that now, starting January 1st, 2026, healthcare plans will be prohibited from requiring you to get a re-diagnosis for individuals who have been previously diagnosed with these conditions. So you don't have to continually be reassessed to continue to receive coverage for behavioral health treatments. Great news, really excited about that. The next two bills are bills that are in the process, and we're hoping that they'll make it all the way through because these two bills are bills that we are sponsoring, meaning that we have proposed these bills to a legislator to carry. And our friend, Dr. Joaquin Arambula, Assembly member out of the Central Valley, is carrying both of these bills. First, AB 1220. This is the Developmental Services Denials of Services and Notices of Actions. What this bill will do is that if a regional center denies you or your family member a service, you requested it to be in your IPP, it gets denied. Right now, we can't really track what's being denied, which regional centers are denying services. This bill will require the regional centers to report their denials and their notices of actions to the State Department, who will then provide that report to the public. So this will be ongoing. We think this is fantastic to help us get a better sense of what's being denied, why it's being denied, and who's being denied. And this is the priority bill for El ARC de California, the coalition of our Latino disability leaders as well throughout the state, because they really see this bill as a vehicle to provide greater equity throughout our system. Next bill, AB 341, that we are sponsoring, also by Assemblymember Arambula, is the Oral Health for People with Disabilities Technical Assistance Care Program. We continue to know that dental care, oral health for our community there's a massive challenge, and we have to do better. So we think this is a small step in the right direction. This bill would require the Department of Developmental Services by July 1st, 2027, to partner with a public California dental school or college to create the Oral Health for People with Disabilities Technical Assistance Center program. This would provide assistance to regional centers and others about how to provide, and dental care providers, about how to provide the best oral health care for individuals with disabilities, in hopes that we can minimize the need and use of sedation and general anesthesia in the dental care space for people with disabilities. So we're excited about that. That is going through the process as well. We received some proposed amendments recently that may put a price tag on this that'll make it difficult, but we're hopeful that we can get this through because we know it's such a big issue. The next two bills are by Assemblymember Baines, and they are in response to the wildfires, the tragic wildfires that happened in Southern California and Los Angeles, AB 1068 and 1069. These are the emergency services available during natural disasters. AB 1068 requires that by July 1st, 2026, the California Health and Human Services Agency will coordinate with various entities to create a working group that will provide recommendations for evacuating and sheltering older adults and people with disabilities in long-term care facilities during emergencies. Similarly, AB 1069 would expand the role of our current state agencies like the AAA's Area Agency on Aging, to require them to coordinate emergency services as well. Next, two bills, and then we're done. AB 1230 by Assemblymember Bonta, pupil discipline. We know that students with developmental disabilities are expelled from schools at a much higher rate. That is an issue that must be addressed in itself. This is about if a student is expelled, then currently the schools are required to create a rehabilitation plan. This bill will say that that rehabilitation plan must include services required by the student's individualized education plan, the IEP. It must require necessary resources for the rehabilitation plan and not require the families to pay for those resources. So we are very much in support of, if a student gets expelled, that these resources must be provided. The IEP plan must be considered to rehabilitate the student, to bring the student back as quickly and successfully as possible. And then finally, SB 363 by Senator Wiener. This is the healthcare coverage independent medical review. We just talked about denials by regional centers. This relates to denials by health plans. We know that you and your families are denied all the time by health plans, and you may appeal that, and that is allowed under current law. An independent medical review system will allows enrollees or insured individuals to challenge a denial. And so this bill will mandate that healthcare services plans report yearly to the State Department the total number of claims and treatment denials or modifications. And then the State Department will look at all of these health plans, compare the numbers of denials, and if more than half of these reviews in any category favor the insured, meaning that in more than half of these denials that got overturned by the independent medical review system, then there could be consequences for the health plan, financial consequences for the health plan, meaning that if the health plan is denying too quickly, too easily, without really looking at this, then there's going to be consequences, and hopefully this will cause health plans to pause and take a second look before they deny any service. This is our update. Again, all of our bills, there's dozens more that we are tracking, supporting, opposing, and they're all available to see on our website. And we hope that you, through this information, can also get involved in the legislative advocacy process. Thanks for being a part. Thanks for watching, and be well.